everyone, and welcome to my channel, Kel Stitches. This is a place where I talk about all of my cross stitching. So today is Monday the 10th of February 2025, and this is Flosstube 64. I nearly said Flossmas because we were just talking about Flossmas. So I nearly said Flossmas, but that ain't happening. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for tuning in. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. I hope that you enjoy what I have to show you and the progress on my projects, and thank you for any of my viewers and subscribers that have come back. So let's just get straight into what I have stitched on for the last fortnight. So the first one I am going to show you is, I haven't got a cover photo because it is the Autumn Lane Stitchery sale, which is called Woodland Winter. And we are up to part 3 of it. No, part 4 of it. So this is what it'll look like when it's completed. So part 4 is this section up here, this top section. So that's what it'll look like when it's completed. I will put in a photo of, I deleted them. If I've got the photo of where it was last time, I'll put it in. If not, I've probably deleted it, so you're not going to be able to see. Where are we? I'm right at the bottom of my. Alright, so this is where I'm up to. I think I hadn't quite finished off this bottom section last time we seen it, so I finished that off. Now I've moved up to part 4 and I'm moving along here. Now in part 4 it has got another dark blue section up here over the hill. I don't know if I'm going to stitch that or not. We have another little house or a barn or something on top of this hill. I'm going to finish off the white here and then stitch this other house. And I think what I'll do is I'll leave this darker blue section and see what the very last section is like. And then I can go from there, because if you can recall, I did not do this section here, which is section 2 or part 2. It was full coverage, so all of this in here was meant to be stitched as well, and obviously I've left that out. So I'm just wondering if I should leave that dark blue section. I mean, I can go and stitch it in at the end if I have to, or if I want to. But I'm thinking by the time I get this done and get the other house up here stitched, it might actually be alright, look alright without the dark blue section. But I'll see. Anyway, I worked on this for 3 days and I got 1,770 stitches into it. And this is just being stitched on a 16 count Ada that I dyed myself in an indigo. But I am loving how that's looking. I hope that they will bring out the other seasons sales as well, because it's so cute and it's so easy to stitch on. Like, I've been managing to keep up with all the parts as they've come out, and just stitched a couple of 100 stitches on them every day before I start on my actual rotational pieces. So it's been very easy. Right, the next one that I stitched on, I'll make this over here, was this one called Oh Great Spirit. Now it is a dimensions chart from back in 1996, and the artwork, or the artist, is Linda K. Powell. that's what it'll look like when it's completed. Now I've finished that top half, and I am now working on this bottom half here. So where are we? Pretty sure it's this one. Yep. Oops. Alright. So that's where I'm up to with it. As you can see, I've finished off that border as far as I can go. The only problem is this Q snap isn't quite big enough to fit the whole project in, but that's all right. I'll do what I can within the Q snap border, and then I'll just move, and all I have to do is finish off that. I'm wondering what I should do, actually. I was just going to say what I should do now that I have finished that border. And as you can see, I have moved up into here, working on some of this up here. Maybe if I finish off the length of floss that I've got for this up here, I might move across and get that border done. So the border's done, and then all I've got to do is concentrate on what is in the middle there. But I worked on it for 2 days, and I got 1,600 stitches into it. And I am loving how it is coming together. So, yeah. I think that's what I'll do, is I think next time I get to work on this, I'll move over and I will get this border done. So the border is completed, and then all I've got to worry about is in the middle here. But yeah, I've just got a little bit of the eagle to finish up here, like his legs and stuff, and a bit of back stitching and what haven't you, and yeah, finish off the bit of sky here. Then I think you've got the words coming in, start coming in here. I'm going to leave back stitching the words till the very end, before I start putting the beads in. Of course, there is beads to go on it as well. Right, next one that I worked on was this one. It is called Waterhole Master. Artwork is done by David Penfound, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is just the regular version, and I am currently working in this section here of the elephant. And this is where I'm currently up to. As you can see, I've filled in, I'm just choosing whatever colours down here, and just working with them to wherever they go. So this is the eye of the, this is the eye of the elephant. And yeah, and the tusk. So yeah, the eye, this will be the ear coming in here. Once I finish this page, I will move across, because if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I started in the middle, and I was going to complete all the pages that had a part of the zebras in them, and then I would move out from there. So I will move across, go right across, finish, and then come down to the bottom of the project to finish off the zebra's legs and what haven't you, and then I'll just move out from there wherever I decide to go. But it's looking good. I absolutely love this one. Love stitching on it. It is amazing to stitch on. So, and I worked on this for 2 days, and I got 1,100 stitches into it. I nearly forgot to tell you that. worked on was my A Year in the Woods series. Now last time we seen it, it was over here, and I just had a little bit in the foot of the jackrabbit to do, and then I think it was only like 8 stitches or something, so why I didn't finish it off when I had the chance, I don't know, but I have moved on to the raccoon, and this is where I'm up to. It kind of looks funny because I just started here and decided I got it. That's not, still got colours to fill in, but I was just colour completing because the whole project will fit on this, like in this nudge frame. So the bottom is just down here, and then the edge of it will be just over here somewhere, so that the whole project will, or the whole pattern will fit into this nudge. So, and they're all the same size, so as I go, that's what it'll be like for all of them in the future now. So yeah, that is looking amazing. So I just colour completed. Started out, I'd just done the outline of his tail and followed that colour through, and then just kept going. But I worked on this for 2 days, and I got 1,900 stitches into it. It is being stitched on 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. But yeah, that's looking really good. So there's approximately 8,000 stitches in the raccoon. The bulk of it being obviously in the raccoon's body itself. But yeah, there's approximately 8,000 stitches in it. So I am probably a quarter of the way through it. So if I can get that amount of stitching into it every session that I stitch on it, I should get the raccoon done this year. So for my goals this year, obviously when I reach the 7,500 stitches, I will put the $10 into my money box. But every time I finish an animal, I am going to put the $10 into the money box as well. So it just means that once I reach the 7,500 stitches on this, I probably only have 500 to 1,000 stitches before I'll put more in it, maybe. But then because it is the one project, I am stitching them all on one. Maybe I should just keep going and reach my next goal before I put more, because it's technically not a finish, it's just the finish of the animal. I'll decide that when we get there. Alright, so the next one that I stitched on is this one. Now this is not the cover photo for it. This is the Sal 2025 Sal from Cross Stitch for Everyone. It is called To Catch a Dream. This is just the cover photo that they made up for the Sal. That's not actually what it's going to look like because it is a mystery stitch. Now this is going to be really hard to see where I've stitched on it because it is dark stitching on black fabric. There was a ridiculous amount of black stitches. I will not do that many black stitches. I am just going to use black fabric to stitch and just omit the black stitches off Pattern Keeper. And this fabric is way bigger than what I needed, but that's alright. Okay, so you can kind of, oh yeah, there we go. You can kind of see where I've stitched. So that is, let me see, 1,310 stitches on it. And that's 2 days worth of stitching. I kind of kicked myself because there's only a couple of hundred stitches left on this page to do, but I sort of ran out of time and energy to get them done. And the rest of them are, it's confetti. So the rest of the stitches are like, there's, most of them are ones, twos, and I think the maximum that's left is 20 in the one colour. So yeah, it's going to be a pain in the bum because it's just going to be changing colours all the time. What's the date today? The 10th. So we should be having, we've had 3 sections, 3 parts of it released. We get one on the 1st and one on the 15th of every month. And yeah, there's no way I'm going to keep up with it, obviously. But I'll just stitch what I can. Because I've omitted a lot of all of the black, I might zip through the pages a lot quicker. Because as you can see, there was a lot of black there that would have had to have been stitched if I was stitching it. I'm not stitching that much black. I ain't crazy. Right, okay, next one that I worked on was this one called Moonwolf 1. I've got it written down as Moonwolf 2 because I'm a clown. Moonwolf 1. And that's what it'll look like when it is completed. This is where I've got to. So I've worked down in here. Now I'm just working, which is hard to tell because the pink is so pale that it's nearly a white. But I am just working all this white in here. All this that's left here is just all white. So I'm working all that in, and then I've only got this part of the wolf over here to do, and it will be finished. So how good is that? So I worked on this for 1 day, and I got 900 stitches into it. And it is being stitched on, I think it's a 16 count Ada that was dyed by Lisa over at Paddock Lane Designs. And once again, I just omitted all the white background just so that pink fabric could come through. It is a very, it's not showing up, it is a little bit darker than what it's showing on the screen there, but it does pale and lighten right off in this section. So, but I really sort of wanted that pink to come through in the moon there, which it has. It's just not showing it. So hopefully that will be very close to a finish in the next couple of stitching sessions once I get to work on it again. But yeah, it's looking good. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe make it into a pillow or something once I'm finished with it. Right, the next, or the last one that I worked on was this one. I'm just calling it Two Wolves because it came out of a magazine that Judy, an Aussie in a Kiwi world, sent me. She was getting rid of a lot of her stash, and she was going through the magazines and seen these ones and tore them out and sent them over for me. And I absolutely love them. They are by Doreen Jones. So yeah, I am stitching them on the one piece of fabric, one under the other, because I kind of have an idea of how I'm going to finish these. So once they are completed, I am thinking I'm going to make them into like a wall hanging type of thing. But anyway, this is where I'm up to. So this was a new start. So this is all the stitching that I have got onto it. I worked on this for 2 days and I got 960 stitches. That is only an approximate sort of, because I scanned being a paper pattern, I scanned it and then put it into Markup RXP, and I thought that it had gone into the app properly, but when I went to mark it off, the very top stitches were not marking off. So basically what I've got to do is just mark down every time I do the top stitch across the top row. Every other square is marking off perfectly. It's just that top stitch. And as long as I am aware of it, there won't be an issue with this one anyway. So the one that I am stitching, that I started on, is this one, a Wisdom. So that is the one that I have started. I had to put them into Markup RXP separately, which is fine. It's not an issue. But yeah, as long as I am aware, at least on this one, of that top stitch not getting marked off, I should be able to keep a fairly accurate count on my stitches. So as I said, I am doing these on the one piece, one on top of the other. I will, I'm thinking that I'll make it into a wall hanging. I'm thinking I'll leave a decent gap between them. And I do. I have, where are we? They're not here. No, they're not. If you can recall, I bought that Dimensions pamphlet that has all your little Native American, just like little medallions. They're only tiny, like probably an inch or a couple of inches. So I'm wondering if I choose an appropriate one, maybe a Dreamcatcher one or something. I'll have to pull it out and have a look and just stitch 2 or 3 of them across here in between the 2 of them. I was going to get some feathers or some little metal dream catchers and just stitch them on, but I'm wondering if I should just stitch a couple of motifs across instead. I'll pull that pamphlet out and I'll see what's on there and what would actually work, and then stitch the other one down here, and then I think I'll just make it into a wall hanging. I know you can get those clamp thingies that go on the top and the bottom that you can hang, so I think that's what I'll do. Good idea. So I told you that, worked on it for 2 days and I got 960 stitches, and that is just being stitched on a 16 count Aida. It is one of those pieces of fabric that, you know, that's left over once you cut out one of your big pieces for your full coverages. It's just one of those skinny little pieces. And they'll fit perfectly on there. And I won't have to move the Q-snap either, because they're only 5 inches, so it'll just finish here, and that's the bottom, so that's the top, and that's as big as it's going to be. So it'll fit in the Q-snap perfectly, and I won't have to move it until I move to do my next one. Rightio, so that's all my stitching that I got done for the fortnight. You're probably thinking, hang on, I'm missing one. This one, I didn't stitch on it. You know how some people say they have a nemesis piece, and I always thought, I don't really have a nemesis piece. Well, I do. It's this one, which is my stamped China kit, which is this. I do love it. It's just the thread that I hate working with. That rayon floss is an absolute pain to work with. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's my nemesis piece. But you know, that's right, it'll get worked on. The only reason it didn't get worked on this rotation is because I'd marked it down to work on it for the Tuesday and Wednesday last week, which just gone, so the 4th and the 5th. And then I realised that on the Tuesday night, the daughter, the son and I were going to a concert here locally. Her name's Amy Shark. She is a local, an Australian musician. I think she had one of her songs was the theme song for one of the big shows, and I can't remember what it was. The song is called Adore, or Adore You, Adore I think it is. Anyway, so she had a concert here and we went to that on the Tuesday night, so that's why I didn't stitch on the Tuesday night, and the daughter was on holidays from work, so she stayed for a couple of nights, so I didn't stitch for the Wednesday night either. But that's okay. If it gets worked on, it gets worked on. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's no biggie. It will get finished when it gets finished. Alrighty-o, so for the fortnight, I done 9,540 stitches, which is a fair drop from the 12,000 that I done in the previous fortnight. Sorry, I had to yawn. Alright, and I did add up my stitches for the January, and I done, for the month of January, I stitched, I was going to say every day, but that is a lie. I missed one day in January. But I stitched 26,995 stitches. Now that is pretty good going. That is an average. I haven't worked out an average. Give me 2 seconds and I will work the average out. Divided by 30. That's an average of 899 stitches a day. Close, well, 899.8 stitches a day. So you could say 900 stitches a day in January. And that is fairly going. January is usually my best stitchy month anyway, because I usually have the 2 weeks off between Christmas and New Year, so, and then work's generally pretty quiet as well, so I'm usually home earlier, so I get a few more hours stitching. But I just thought that that was interesting in how many stitches I got done for January. Alright, so I will pull my next rotation out. Tip these out. And we will go again. Let's pull another 7 out, shall we? The first one is Horse Portrait. Now I'm just going to mark these down as I'm going, so I'm sorry if I go off camera. I am a lefty and I have got my diary over on the arm of the lounge, so I've got to lean over. I'll bring it to my lap. So the first one was Horse Portrait. Ooh, and now it's going to fall on that. The second one is Two Wolves. We've got Legal High. We have Modern Folk Embroidery Sale. Fall. Can I pull out a full coverage? Cross Stitch for Everyone sale. Well, that is kind of full coverage, but not because I am leaving out the background. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Stamped. That's my karma right there for not working on it last time. Oh, that really is karma, isn't it, for not working on it last time? Come on, full coverages, where are you? I'm going to end up with a fortnight where, yep, I'm going to end up with a fortnight where it's majority of full coverages. The last one is Autumn Blessing. I am so excited to work on that one again. So that is going to be a really good rotation. Actually, there's some good ones in there that I can't wait to work on again. Like Autumn Blessing and Legal High and Two Wolves. They are some of my, I love them. They're all new starts, obviously, but I really do like them. Where's my bag? So yeah, and Karma decided to be a bitch and threw a stamped one in there, as I said, just because I didn't work on it in the last rotation. And I know some have said, well, if you don't like working on it so much, why don't you just UFO it? As I said, it's not the actual project, it is the floss that I don't like working with. And I've got so far through it, I am probably 3/4 of the way through it, and I am not going to change the floss or start it. Well, I'm not starting it again, it's a stamped one anyway. Alright, let me just get these cover photos sorted so I can show you what they are. That's that one, and that one, and that one. So all of them. And that one. Yes, that is all of them. Alright. Okay. Now let's see what ones I am. Let me just show you. So we have Autumn Blessing, which is the Shannon Christine Designs. We have Modern Folk Embroidery, No Time Like the Present, which was the sale for 2024. We have Horse Portrait, which is by Just Stitching on eBay. We have Legal High, which is a Long Dog sampler. And as you can see, I have written my little notes on there to remind myself of the colours, where I'm going to use certain colours. And that works because it is laminated, so I can just use a bit of tea tree oil or something on it to just wipe it off if I ever want to do a different colour scheme. To Catch a Dream, the Dream Catcher Cell from Cross Stitch for Everyone, 2 wolves, and my stamped kit, my Nemesis. And that was the 7 of them, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's the 7 of them. And of course, my Autumn Lane Stitchery cell. It's going to be thrown in there, obviously, here and there until I get it completed. So that is that. Now we have to fill in my boards, which is going to be funny because I'm a lefty and of the way I'm sitting. Alright. So what do we got here? Small full coverages. Can I sit around this way? I might be able to. Alright, so small full coverages. What do we got? Autumn Lane's not on there. Great Spirit is. And we'll put 1,600. Then we have A Year in the Woods, which is over on the end. We got 1,900. Cross Stitch for Everyone's on the other one. Moonwolf 1, we got 900. And then 2 wolves, we got 960. Now, I only got, again, I was meant to tell you when I had it out. For the 2 wolves, I only got the 960 on it in the 2 days because I started stitching on it and the fabric was so stiff because I'd forgot to wash it. Silly me. I always try to wash my fabric before I start stitching on it just to get that start. I've found now I don't like that real stiff fabric to stitch on anymore. So I wash my fabric before I start just to get starch and all that sort of stuff out of it. So yeah, I'd forgot to wash it and I got like 230 stitches into it and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I pulled it off the Q-snap and threw it into the washing machine for one of the quick 20-minute, I don't know if washing machines elsewhere in the world have your quick 20-minute wash cycles, but my machine does, so I just threw it in there. I didn't put any washing powder or anything in it, and then I hung it on the line. So for the rest of that day I just stitched on the Autumn Lane cell. Got about 500 stitches into it, and then the following day, which was yesterday, I pulled it off the line and started stitching on it and got like another 730 into 2 wolves. So that's how I only got 960. But now that I've washed it, I am just flying through the stitches. The needle's going into the fabric really nicely. I find when it's stiff, you get that, you know, that noise that you get with your needle going through the fabric. I can't stand that either. And it was really hard to pull the needle through. So washing it, getting the starch out of it, made it a little bit more pliable. Sometimes it doesn't work with all fabrics I've found. It depends on the make of them, because I buy a lot of my fabrics off Temu or AliExpress. They're a China fabric. Some of them will soften up really nicely when you wash them. Some of them will only soften up a little bit. Soften up enough that it's workable, but still a little bit stiff, but not that starchy stiff. Right, so we are on to the full coverage projects, which my goal is 10,000 stitches on each of them for the year. And Cider Lounge. So the first one was Waterhole Master. Here we got 1100 into it. Then the next one was the Cross Stitch for Everyone. I probably shouldn't be on this one because it's technically not a full coverage project with me taking all of the black background stitches out of it, but it was bought as a full coverage project, if you sort of know what I mean. It's not a full coverage project because of me. As it's charted, it is a full coverage project. 1,310. Alright, so they are all of my first totals for the year. Everything's been worked on except for the stamped kit. Alright, so that's my two. And then what I've done was I was thinking, how am I going to keep track of when I reach my goals or when I do a finish? So I was thinking about another whiteboard, and then I thought no, because it wipes off too easy. And I was in Big W, which is kind of like, is it like Walmart? Anyway, it's a department store, so you get everything except for groceries in there. And I was in there and I was looking and I found a little chalkboard. That's the size of it. So it's only little, and I marked it out. As you can see, project name. Goal 1 is for the first goal of whatever the project is. Goal 2 is if I reach the goals on all of them and I decide to make another one. And finish, because some of them will be finished this year. So what I'm going to do is when the goal gets reached, say for Protector, I will just come along and I'll just put I was going to put a tick, but I'm just going to put a mark there, just like a stroke, so I can see. The other thing I was going to do was I was going to buy like a trifold board like Jen has, but then I thought I really don't need such a big board, and I couldn't find them, so I don't even know if we have them over here in Australia. And I was just going to write them all down and just put a sticker beside each of them for when I reach the goals, but I found this and I just thought this will work just as well. So it's a chalkboard. These are chalk pencils that came with it, so I thought I might as well just use them. Wrote all the names of my projects down. Right down, we've got the Autumn Lane Sal here, and then as you can see down the bottom we have Beetlejuice, because I will be starting that one as soon as the Autumn Lane Sal is finished. Once the Sal's finished, I will start on the Beetlejuice one and just work it like I was working the Autumn Lane Sal, and just do a couple of 100 stitches a day on it. So yeah, what I'm just going to do is once that goal's reached, I'm just going to go and mark it. If I could find chalk pencils in a different colour other than white, I could just mark them in white, but that's just going to be a little reference for us to see what goals have been reached. So yeah, I'm not expecting that to be in play anytime soon, except for the Autumn Lane, so might be by the end of February we may have that one marked off. Have I already reached the 7,500? I am going to pause and I'm going to add up how much we have already stitched on the Autumn Lane Sal. Okay, no, I was just wondering if we'd already reached the 7,500 goal for Autumn Lane already, but no, we haven't. We've only done 4,495 stitches. Now, we would have been probably another 900 stitches on top of that if I had have done the blue in part 2. And if I leave out the blue in part 4, that'll leave off another 500 odd stitches. So let's see if the finish comes first or the 7,500 gold comes first. Alright, so that is all of the stitching. I signed up for the Silks for You 12 Days of Christmas Advent again for this year. I am debating whether I'll sign up for the Seasons pack. I don't know. Because I am thinking I want to sign up to Cottage Garden Threads, one of their monthly thread packs. So I don't know. Oh, that's what I also bought a nude run from Cottage Garden. So basically what it is 10 of their skeins of floss that are either accident dyes. They don't have any tags or anything on them, or they're leftovers from special dyes, or they're a leftover from an out of stock dye lot. So that should be arriving this week sometime. So I did jump on that and grab one of those. And I think that's about all of the haul that I actually got for this fortnight. I think so. Alright, I think that is everything that I have got to say. Work. I didn't get a Stitch With Me done this fortnight, obviously. When I would have got it done, it was on the Monday or the Tuesday night, and the Tuesday we went to the concert, so didn't get it. Hopefully I'll try to get one done this fortnight. I am also thinking of doing a series on how to dye fabric using different methods. So each video will be a different method. At the moment I've got an idea for 6 different methods, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 different methods. So I will start probably filming that this week, maybe do one every week or something like that over the next 6 weeks. I just have to figure out some color palettes. I know the first one, I know what color I'm going to do, because it will be I will dye the fabric for one of the other Beetlejuice patterns that I got. It's meant to be on white, but I want to do it on a purple background. So I will start with that one because it doesn't have to be mottled or anything. So I will start with that one as the very first in the series. So I will be getting around to doing that. I noticed on Facebook that there were a few people asking how to dye fabrics and stuff. And I am not a professional by any means in dyeing fabrics, but I have worked out a way that works for me, and it's very quick and very easy. So if I can pass it on, knowledge on, for people to do a bit of dyeing at home and practicing, why not? So yes, I will start that series sometime this week probably. Alright guys, so that is everything. I will leave it as that. My next Flosstube will be on Monday the 24th, so in 2 weeks time. Yep, on Monday the 24th. So yeah, that will be my next Flosstube. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in once again. If you're a new viewer, I should say, I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you for any returning viewers and subscribers. Very much appreciated. Alright guys, wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe. Happy stitching.